Hi folks, good morning. Back to the watercolours for probably today. This is the £90 Waterford cold pressed paper. It's got a slight yellow, it's not pure white, it's got a yellow cast to it. That's a beautiful paper. Anything you need to know, well, it's a palette. Yellow, cadmium yellow or gamboge, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, which I don't use a lot, of Payne's grey, which I do, and burnt sienna. I could do with squeezing out some more. I'll have to look for some more burnt sienna. Black, noir, negro. I don't use black really. I should use it more often, especially with the acrylics or oils. Not so much with the watercolours, but I've got quite a bit of that. And I've got this. What have we got here? Raw sienna, lovely artist quality raw sienna. Gamboge hue, Cotsman. I've got golden ochre here, or whatever that is. Gold ochre, I don't know what that is. I have used it, but best to stick to what you know. Some more raw sienna, Ken Bromley. But I've got plenty out, so I don't need to add to it. So once again, I'm going to make up one based on previous paintings. I've given the paper a bit of a wet, so it's soaking in. So we'll just get some yellow raw sienna. It's the usual method. Make it more yellow than it is. Okay. What should we do now? Put some. You never know how this is going to turn out because we're painting wet in wet. The paint will dry in and it'll diffuse. Let's a bit darker at the top here. Clean the brush and put in some light red. We'll put a bit of blue in that foreground and a bit of cloud, light red. You could use burnt umber, that makes a good cloud colour. Okay, so we've got a bit of a nice watercolour, watercolour. Right, well, I'll dry that and we'll start to build it up. Now this will dry much lighter, so I'm going to just give it a dry. Okay, that you can see how much lighter that's dried and the way it just blots in like blotting paper. Now the weather, I'm usually influenced by what's going on outside my three big roof windows. It's quite a yellow sky. Well, it's yellow. It's not really yellow, but it's a grey day, a yellowy grey day after the lovely day we had yesterday. So and I've got the lights on overhead. Well, one light, one's warm glow. I should really change that to another one that Alan Owen recommends. That gives a daylight, but we'll see how it goes. Right, clean the brush. We'll start to just put a bit of a landscape background. Just using the sky colours, but you don't want too light because as I say, that it will dry much lighter. So okay, nice. That's okay. Let's put in some burnt sienna. There we go, burnt sienna. Don't want it too wet. Could make that into a landscape rather than a waterscape, but keep going with that sienna. I would put some water in the foreground. Put some grass in. Payne's grey and the yellow. So just sort of rough ground, meadow. Got a bit of Payne's grey. This will all just vanish into the wet paper, and that would be our we can add to that. I'll let that dry because that's quite. We've got a bit of nice green again. Look, green. Just let that all blend together. Right, okay, so we've got that blue. I sometimes forget to go up higher with the blue. So my waterscapes seem to be rather plain, but I can assure you that I do tint the paper first, but it just dries about 50% lighter. And as often as not, it gets lost. Right, okay, I'm going to try that. Right, I've tried this and I've made myself a cup of tea. Just a word about windows. All my stuff is windows. I've been using the new Windows video editor, which is why I don't mind breaking off and knitting them all together, because it's so easy. It's much easier than the previous one. So I can just do the drying, dive off, make a cup of tea, and stop and start again. It will divide into, well, I can divide it into 3 or 4 chunks, small chunks, and just bang, 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 and they're all on the editor, and you just wait for them to download, and then, oh, very easy. Right, now we're going to put in some background. I'm going to use my hake, my medium hake. All my stuff, well, most of it is Ron Ranson hakes. I've got the large hake, which I've done all this with, and I've got the medium hake, and I've got this large hake, which is Jackson's own version of the Ron Ranson large hake. It's not quite as good and it does stipple and things like that. It's a very good brush, and I also use, not often, this is Frank Clark's Hake, very good for stipple, and Frank's small Hake, which needs a bit of a wet, so I didn't clean it. Oh, there we are. That's Frank Clark's little brush. It's a little beauty, though. Good for dry brush. Right, now that's lovely dry. Let's go to. I think I'll use it. Why not? I don't often use round brushes. I've got them, but I don't use them. So we want a bit of blue. Just for the background trees. Bit of yellow in there. So we've got a very dark, bluey, black, green. So we'll just start coming across here with some I'm trying here to leave a lot of air holes for the birds. Oh, don't like that. Okay, we'll just carry on across the horizon with some of this. I did a similar one yesterday. Well, not yesterday. I don't usually paint on the days I've gone out for the bike ride, even if we don't go that far. It's quite tough at our age, and I don't really feel like doing anything other than sitting in an armchair with Netflix or catch-up TV. Just I've got the paint mixed up now. Look, hopefully it won't dry by the time I get to the other end. That one's gone a bit wrong. But I think the weather's going to change tomorrow. It's going to be much warmer, which means I'll be able to get outside and cook. If I'm allowed. When it gets lovely, my wife's already planned out what she's going to cook or what I'm going to cook, and then we get a nice break in the sun. Out come, well, like the barbie, gas or charcoal, and I just enjoy it. A beer or two, my homemade beer, which is lovely. Sit outside. It's been a long winter, hasn't it? Silly thing to say, but all winters are long. Right, okay, so there's a bit of a background. That paint, that liquid was just about lasted. Right, now we've got to build up this. I put a bigger tree. So I add a bit of burnt sienna to that mix. Let's cover this one up. Now this, where the hake, this hake is giving a square edge, which I don't really want. But so we've got some branches in there. I don't want to get anything in there. I'm not really one for putting in too many buildings or buildings at all. These are sort of wild landscapes. Right, we've given that an outing. Let's go back to the medium hake, which I do prefer. And we'll put some darker stuff on the horizon there. My favourite colour, blue and Payne's grey. Bit of more solid there. Okay, I don't think that will. Well, that might do a little bit. Right, I've got to start to texture this foreground now. So we're going to have dark greens, a variety of greens. Just random. Yellow and Payne's. All this rough ground. It's very similar to what I did yesterday, but I'm just trying to show a lightness of touch, which I haven't got here. Okay, don't think there's too much more I want to do with that, because any more would just be too much. Bit of shadow. Okay, we'll get a nice little Frank Clark brush. This is just the beauty of this brush. Put birds in. Okay. Right, we'll put that in a mount. It's knowing when to quit. That's gone badly wrong now. I could dry that and just I'll dry it and put some light yellow over. So okay, now I just want to lighten that, so I'm just going to get some nice yellow, this gamboge. It's just been a bit muddy. I think I just overdid it. We'll have a bit of a sparkle on there, or sort of sparkle. See if I can just lighten some of this here. And we'll just add a bit of rigger work on the foreground here. Nothing more than that. Right, we'll put that in a mount and we'll have a look at it. I'll use the big one, it just about covers. Well, there we are, we've got another simple painting. Well, at least it looks simple. The paper itself is not particularly rough, but when it dries, it does lift the surface a little bit, and it does get that bit of dry brush there. That's what I tried to, but I just went a bit heavy in there with the Frank Clark hake, little hake, medium hake. But these are just suggestions. They're not trees, but they look like trees. Because your brain will interpret them. I mean, they're a bit obvious, and I'm not really happy with my greens. They're a little bit dull using the gamboge. But anyway, I hope you like it. Thanks. Oh, it's just come out of it. There we go. So another one. The sky is totally different than the one I did yesterday. I don't think this is quite as good, or definitely not as good. So I'll do another one in a minute, so when I've uploaded this. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.